Now, for more discussions on Sino-U.S. relations and also Blinken's visit to China, we're joined by Jameel Ahmad, Chief Analyst at GTC, a brokerage based in Dubai. Jameel, thank you so much for joining us. So, the China and U.S., both sides have expressed during today's meeting that their willingness for mutual respect and also the importance of a stable bilateral relationship. What do you think the meeting means for Sino-U.S. relations?
It's significant, and we have optimistic headlines coming out of the meeting, which is the first meeting for 5 years. We have to look at this from both a global perspective and also from an economic perspective. We all know that the US and Chinese economy are the #1 and 2 largest economies in the world. But with bilateral relations being strained now for nearly 5 years, this has been a downside weight to the global economy because we're all dependent on US and China not only getting along, but their economies performing as well as they possibly can. So I'd look at the scenario as something like being on a plane. At the moment, we're trying to fix the wings on those planes, which is the US and China relations, but that plane has been on break and been on standby for some time. So should that plane be able to take off again, all passengers on this plane, which includes the global economy, industries and corporations, we can see optimistic signs that we're going to get going again.
Yeah, that's a great metaphor, actually. Blinken also says the U.S. side looks forward to having high-level engagement with the Chinese side and also keep open lines of communication. How important is communication between the two countries?
It's essential towards rebuilding the relationship, and I would say that it's the right step in the direction that the road is being repaired, but we still have to take into account how important the relationships are. Before the pandemic, and before the inflationary pressures, which is the main threat to the global economy today, the trade tensions between 2018 and 2019 led to the weakest level and growth for the global economy since the global financial crisis. So this is how important the meeting is, and repairing that meeting is as well to global economic relations and also for prosperity for everybody.
Blinken also mentioned that the U.S. is committed to returning to the agenda set by the two presidents in Bali last November. Both sides agree that a stable relationship is not only beneficial to the two sides, but also to the entire world. Your thoughts on that?
It's completely correct. We have to look at this again from a trade perspective, from an economic perspective, and also from a political perspective. US and China being friends again and repairing that friendship, it's going to be more beneficial to everybody. So it's good to see that they're going to meet again in the next couple of months in Bali, and that the communication lines will remain open, because those last 5 years where relationships have been strained has been a negative way to the global economy, and we need as much good news for sentiment as we can get, because as pointed out, we've got global inflationary pressures, interest rate policy globally is still uncertain, the pandemic has only just passed us, but some industries and corporations are still facing some of the aftermaths there. So the US and China being on a better relationships can lead to stronger global prospects economically as well as politically, and that can only be seen as a positive overall.
Yeah, great sign for the whole world. Thank you so much for your insights. Really appreciate your time. Jameel Ahmad, Chief Analyst at GTC, a brokerage based in Dubai. In recent